Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. And we're going to do a cover version of a Jimi Hendrix Experience song. Now, this song comes from the Jimi Hendrix Experience's second album called Axis Bold as Love. The album Axis Bold as Love was released in the UK on December 1st, 1967. In the United States, it wasn't released until January of 1968. In the United States, it climbed the charts and got to number 3 on Billboard's Top 200 album chart. Phenomenal for an album of this nature. Now, my brother Rob bought this album when it came out, and I was wondering because I put it on and I'm listening to it and I'm going, this isn't the type of music my brother listens to. He was big into soul music, he was big into country music, um, and top 40. He loved top 40 music. So I asked him, I said, Rob, why did you buy this album? It's like so unique. He said, well, I thought it was funny. It sounds funny to me. Now, you got to know my brother loved funny music. He was into the types of records that had some sort of comedy associated to it. And that's what he thought he heard in Axis Bold as Love. Well, I heard something completely different. I heard sounds I had never heard before. I heard guitar playing I had never heard before. Because I had never heard of Jimi Hendrix, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, prior to this album. Well, I learned that there was a first album by the Jimi Hendrix Experience, called "Are You Experienced?" So I went out and bought it, and it was fantastic. Now, when I listen to Axis Bold as Love, there's one track that I absolutely loved and couldn't stop playing. That track is my all-time favorite Jimi Hendrix song, and it's called Little Wing. It's just a very short 2.5 minute song on the album. Starts with a great intro guitar sounds where he's picking on the guitar. He sings these imaginary lyrics and then goes into the most fantastic guitar solo that he ever recorded. And that guitar solo, from what I read, was played through a Leslie amp. Now, a Leslie amp is usually used for a keyboard, but he played his guitar through it, giving it kind of a swirly sound because a Leslie amp has a spinning speaker on the top of it. I played this song so much it developed a skip. Now, a skip is where you get a kind of a damaged groove on the record, and it kind of skips over that groove, and you miss some music, or you might miss some lyrics or something, and it's kind of annoying. But I kept on playing it even though it had the skip because I just loved the song. But I got used to hearing the skip. So when this album, Axis Bold as Love, was released on compact disc, and I think that was like the early 1990s, I bought it immediately. When I got to Little Wing, it was like, this song sounds different than what I heard on the album. What it was missing was the skip, and it took me a long time to get used to hearing the song without a skip in it. So that's kind of my little story on Little Wing. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a group called the Voodoo Child. And this group is a group put together by Andre Cherbout. I'm hoping I pronounce his name right. But Andre is the person that created the group, the Iron Cross Band. And yesterday I had a request for another Andre group, and that group was called Shut Up and Kiss Me. And I covered their version of House of the Rising Sun. It was great. So when I looked up what songs were available by the Voodoo Child, which I thought, okay, this has got to be some relationship to Jimi Hendrix, because Jimi Hendrix had two songs on the Electric Ladyland album called Voodoo Child. And sure enough, they do a lot of Hendrix, but they do a cover of Little Wing. So I said, I've got to see this. So I thought, we're going to do this today. It's going to be the second time I've done Andre this week, but I have to hear this version of Little Wing, and this is live. So here we go with the Voodoo Child group doing Jimi Hendrix's Little Wing live.
it's running wild. Deflates and deep across the moon's fairy tale, riding with the wave. Whoa, and I say, here comes a man with 1,000 smiles to give to me free. And it's alright, she tell me it's alright. Take anything.
Oh wow, wow, that's really nice. So, Andre, the person to the what is that? The far right. Um, I think this is his band, another one of his bands, and he does the intro to the song very much like the Jimi Hendrix version. He doesn't like um, move away from that at all. And then the drummer comes in, and again, very much like the Jimi Hendrix Experience version. He plays the drums almost, is it note for note, you could say, and then the rest of the band comes in, and then the female vocalist comes in and she starts singing. And so this is different to have a female vocalist, and so it's a different sound to the vocals, of course, but she has a very bluesy voice, and she just rasps her voice, giving this thing a really deep sound. This is really good. I really like what I'm hearing. So let's keep on going and see what happens with this song, because now this one's 7 minutes and 22 seconds long, and the original's 2.5. So I'm interested to see what they add to this song. This should be good. So let's go and start this up again. Wow. Just real quick stop here. I loved I loved the instrumental break. It was some really great blues guitar. Now that wasn't at all part of Hendrix's version of Little Wing. he went out with a totally different style of guitar solo, but it was a great blues guitar solo, and he played it really slow, which was nice because you could feel the blues, you could feel every note. It sounded fantastic. And then the female vocalist comes back in and starts singing again. And she's got such, I mean, she's the next coming of Janis Joplin. I just love her raspy blues soul voice. I mean, she just hits this thing note for note. She does a great job of singing this song. You can really feel what she's singing. It's just awesome. So I want to put this back on and see what happens next here. This is awesome so far.
Take anything.
Okay, wow, wow. I just love that when Andre finally took off with the guitar solo, the actual Jimi Hendrix version of the guitar solo. That was phenomenal. And it must have been, I would say, twice to three times as long as the version that Jimmy actually did on Little Wing. But he just nailed that guitar solo. That was phenomenal. And it was too bad, like they said in the video here, where they lost video and they just did some stills and then came back into the video. It'd been nice to see that whole thing. But this was dynamite. I love this. This was great. I want to go back and see if I can find where he starts the Hendrix guitar solo, because that just blew me away. Let's see. I think it was about right about here. Let's start this up. Oh yeah, I could probably listen to this over and over and over and over. Wow, it was a fantastic rendition of Hendrix's guitar solo, and like I said, I personally feel that is Hendrix's best guitar solo. It on the original version of Little Wing, it was short, maybe I don't know, maybe 40 seconds, but it is just got so much soul wrapped into that guitar solo, and Andre here plays it like almost note for note, and he puts so much emotion. You can feel like the sounds going through his fingers and into his body and up to his brain. It's just a great guitar solo. Loved it. This was dynamite. This was much better, way better than I anticipated. I really really like this. I love the female vocalist. What's her name? Let me get my glasses here and log into my pad. She has a channel, her own channel on YouTube as well, where she does some solo work. She calls herself Rock Minna. Rock Minna, I think that's what it is. Rock Minna. The bass player is Robert. The drummer is George, and the rhythm guitar player is Serguia. Serguia. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too, but great version of this song. This is live at the Galate Blues Festival. Not sure where that is, but this was a kicking song. This was a kicking song. I loved it. So if you loved it, hit that like button. And if you have any comments about the Voodoo Child Band, their rendition or cover of the Jimi Hendrix Experience song Little Wing, or if you know any other information about the Voodoo Child Band, put in the comments below. That would really be appreciated. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. And then go over here, ring that bell, and get updates to my latest videos. I love this. What I really liked is I wish Hendrix would have done a 7-minute version of it and done an extended guitar solo. I mean, this was really cool how they did that and put so much different pieces into this song and extend it. Loved it. Just loved it. I hope you loved it as much as I loved it. Because it put a big smile on my face. I'm hoping to put a big smile on your face. And peace out, baby.